what's up, THP? This is the first installment of Get to Know Your Granddaddy Team 2021. Hopefully you guys enjoy this as much as hopefully we enjoy doing it. I'm Chris, but you guys know me on the forum as Much More 18, and I'm joined by Matt, Clayton, and David, and I will let them do their introductions now. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, and Matt, we'll start with you.
Matty D MPLS for Minneapolis, and been on the forum for a little over 2 years now. Enjoyed every second of it and love bantering back and forth on all golf topics and other topics as well. So glad to have you. Glad to be a part of this. Thanks, Chris.
So what's your screen name, just so everybody knows?
Matty D MPLS, or Matty Dimples.
Matt, there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, Clayton, you want to go?
Sure. Clayton Anderson, the Catalyst 41 on the THP forum. I've been on the forum for about 4 years now. It's been an exciting run for me, exciting journey for me. So getting to come back as the ASCAP this year, and really kind of pending for a couple of years here. It's been a fun experience, but glad to be a part of this team. And really looking forward to December.
Awesome. And David?
Yep, I'm David, Real Pretend Psychic on the forum, and been on THP for just under a year and a half, and been a member of Team Grandaddy for just under a year and a half. So yeah, excited to be here, excited to talk Grandaddy.
So there was a question about your screen name, David. So I guess I would just ask everybody, what's the story behind your guys' screen name? So Maddie, you want to go?
Just my first name and my last initial, and from Minneapolis area. So,
and he has dimples.
And I have dimples. Not really at all.
Clayton?
For me, it actually came from doing some music with my brother-in-law. We used to do like some music for outdoor events for our church, and I needed the stage name, so the Catalyst was kind of came out of there, and it stuck with my email, and it's kind of been riding with it ever since.
That's awesome. And then David, the question was directed at you, so I'm sure that they're interested in it.
Yeah, mine's from a TV show called Psych that ran a few years ago on USA Network. So main character was a super observant guy who solved crimes. So he was a pretend psychic. So for some reason I added real to that just to make it a little longer.
I like it. So Clayton, in your intro, you said this team's been together for quite a while. So that's kind of where I want to start. I want to talk about what the process has been like for you three, and what the wait's been like, because you guys were the original members of the 2020 Grandaddy team, and unfortunately it was canceled before anybody else was able to be a part of it, especially us grandmama guys who got to join, luckily. So just what's it been like waiting this long for everybody? Whoever wants to start.
Go ahead, Clayton.
I'll say for me, it's a little different on this side. Being in this role, it's still hard as I don't know what to wait until December, knowing what you guys are, and we as a team are running head first into. I think after the initial disappointment of not being able to go in December of 2020, it was just kind of prepping my mind and making the adjustment. But at the same time, there was so much going on in the world, man. You know, and I think even in my personal world. So really just grateful that we still have the opportunity to be able to get out there and have this experience. I'm glad that a lot of things disappeared in 2020. And I'm just glad the Grandaddy wasn't one of them. So though it was postponed, it's still alive, and we have an opportunity to keep that alive. So that's exciting. The wait's been difficult just because trying to keep the excitement up when the date keeps getting pushed back, and you're trying to keep the forum engaged as much as possible. It's been a little bit tougher, especially for me. There's been a lot of between my career and even moving and renovating a house recently, just trying to stay as engaged as possible, but it's been a lot. So glad a lot of that's over and really excited to jump back in and get mixing up with the full team.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to get you back even in our text thread because I know you've been super busy. So
Lambs.
what about you, Matt? How's the weight been?
A lot of roller coaster of emotions, being super excited, knowing we're good to go in 11 months. And then basically 3 months later say, oh, let's make it 19 months or 20 months or whatever it is. But it's been awesome. Been communicating with you guys on a daily basis and chopping it up with the forum, and knowing that we're less than 5 months to it now is pretty darn exciting. It's been a great experience for me so far, even with just the wait for it. So
Gotcha. And then David?
Yeah, I guess my experience was a little different, even because I had joined the forum about a month before I was selected for the Grandaddy.
Yeah, I got a question about that in here for you. So
Yeah, so I think I like finally came to the realization that it wasn't some internet scam, and then we got the call from Darth Finley that we were going to be pushed out a year. So it started with disbelief and then a whole lot of research, since I really didn't know a whole lot about the Grandaddy, and then I guess a little bit of relief because I hadn't played a whole lot of golf over the last 5 years, and then excitement once we started picking up teammates again. So definitely then some ups and downs.
yeah.
I've got to say, I was pretty excited though when after we got that call. We obviously all of us got the call separately. It wasn't a conference call, but to discover that these two guys had decided to wait it out and stick together as a team was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's right. Because you guys originally had the choice to join the Grandmama, didn't you?
yeah,
We did. Yeah.
So was that ever even an option for you guys, or was it always Grandaddy?
with the uncertainty, like I thought about it and just decided I'm gonna wait. It crossed my mind, with the uncertainty of what was going on, and I just didn't know. So I wanted to take a few hours, think about it, and I told Finley that I'm in for 2021. So
Well, I'm sure the rest of the teammates are, but I'm pumped that you stayed for this one. So even though we probably all would have been pushed back into the Grandaddy anyway, but
right, yeah,
I think it's really cool that all three of you guys committed to this one for the long haul. So
Yeah, it was an easy choice for me. I will say, in retrospect, considering I was thinking like I already know what release cycle we're on for this year. It's going to be nuts. I was thinking you're going from a ASCAP role to possibly a participant role. But when I was on the phone with Finley, and those went through my head for a few minutes, and I was like, what are you talking about? This is the Grandaddy. Just cool your jets and wait. And so I'm glad I did, and glad these guys stuck with me as well.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was similar. I was talking to Finley on the phone. I said, I'll get back to you later tonight. I got to think about it. And I sent him a message on the forum like 3 minutes after I hung up. I was like, I'll see you in 2021.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome to hear that. I mean, obviously being the OG 2020 squad, I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're doing it. You guys made it easy for everybody else to jump into the group. So I just thank you for that. But that kind of leads into my next question for Matt, and being the captain. So what made you want to be the captain for the Grandaddy, and what was the process? Me, like David, I haven't been on the forum for a super long time, and I wasn't even very active when you and Clayton were originally picked for your roles. So I was just kind of wondering what made you want to do it and what the process was.
I was as shocked as anyone else when I was announced. There was no contest for it. I don't know if being out in Coeur d'Alene with Finley had anything to do with it, but it's just unbelievable, and I'm trying to make sure our team is together and having a good time and enjoying each other. That's basically my process. And if there's anything that anyone needs, I can definitely try to get it done and kind of go from there. So it's kind of shocking experience to say the least, but with being chosen.
So it was just kind of again, I wasn't active, so I don't know. This is news to me too. It was just kind of announced that you were the captain.
Yep. So it was during PGA show 2019.
Yep.
Or wait, was it? No, 2020. January of 2020. Clayton got a call from Finley the day before I was selected.
From Jeff.
Yep. It was Jeff. It was Newworth. And sorry. And then Dan and Finley did a video for myself and announced it. I was on a phone call with a client and didn't know what was going on. I just saw my notifications going nuts. I'm like, oh man, did I get into the Morgan Cup? Because they were announcing that soon too. And it said the captain on the notifications. I'm like, what's going on? So that's how I found out. I told that person that I was on the phone with someone would have to call him back. I just started walking around the office when it happened. So
I gotta brag on this guy for a second though, because I remember I had the same feeling. You get picked and you're like, holy crap, this is really happening. You're trying to process it. But it was shortly after that Matt started like reaching out to previous captains and really trying to get a understanding of more of the role and kind of the responsibility and ideas. And he was digging through the previous Grandaddy threads and just kind of really just absorbing the spirit of the Grandaddy and the responsibility. And to me, that just showed a lot of leadership to understand, it wasn't just a role where we're, you're leading the team to free equipment and fun. It was, this is an event that's huge and carries a lot of weight, and it means a lot to a lot of people. And so taking that responsibility seriously was something that made me feel comfortable in the gate.
So that is awesome. Clayton, I guess I was going to ask you the same question, but was yours an entry for a contest or anything, or was
it wasn't? It was just a random selection, and I actually thought that. So when my phone rang, I got the call on my cell phone, and it said Newbarth, and I was like, I only know one Newbarth, but there's no way he's calling me. And then when he called, I stepped out and I was like, hello. And when I heard his voice, I was like, yo, this is crazy. So it was actually complete shock. And I thought I was having a regular conversation. I had no idea it was actually being recorded. So I didn't say anything sideways, but it was pretty awesome, man. And still, I mean, those guys I love those guys. They're all amazing. I had a really great experience with Jeff when I was there. Just got a chance to connect with him. So looking forward to seeing him again. But yeah, total shock.
Yeah, that is pretty nuts. I'm glad I asked the question because I was unaware you guys were just picked out of nowhere for it. So I don't think they could have picked two better people. So I'm really pumped you guys are on the team.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
So David, I'm going to ask you, you kind of touched on it when you were introducing yourself, but you were chosen as the first actual team member of the 2020 team. You'd only been a part of the forum for a month. Were you fully aware of what the Grandaddy was when you were entering? And were you a little overwhelmed when chosen, when you were only here for such a short time?
Yeah, I don't even know that I had entered any other contests at that point. And I joined 3 months post 2019 Grandaddy. So there was no live thread or live updates or anything like that. So like Matt, I did a whole lot of pacing afterwards. And yeah, it was just shock and then research. And I was announced in a live chat with Finley. So it was
Right.
just username tagged and then just an explosion of notifications and a whole bunch of people calling for a reaction video.
Those are very important.
Definitely.
Have we had a reaction video yet on the team?
We've had a couple.
Aaron did one.
Aaron
Yeah,
did.
Aaron did one.
Yeah.
Trying to
Because
think about
yeah,
that.
me, Sean, and Neil were all grandmama, so I don't think we had reaction videos.
No, I'm pretty disappointed in all you guys too.
If that's the only way we're disappointing you, I think we're doing okay.
Absolutely. You guys are killing it, man. Especially David. David is an overachiever by definition. So he's crushing it.
I'll be talking to him about it here shortly. So as you guys know, I opened up that thread to get some questions from THPers. So, because again, if you're not on there every day, you may not know who all of us are. You may not interact with all of us all that often. So I just wanted to see if they had any questions for you. And I got some stuff ranging from food choices at the Hideaway to if Maddie and X-Thor are the same person.
And that's an important question that we need to address today.
Well, we don't have Neil, so we can address it.
No,
No,
you can't.
we can't verify.
So I was just going to jump into a couple of those if you guys are ready for those.
That'd
Absolutely.
be a heck of a way to get into the Grandaddy, though.
To do what?
Twice? Get
Two
bags?
different profiles, two sets of clubs.
We'll just show up with 12 people instead of 13.
Clayton has to play then.
Never know, man. Somebody got injured at the last second.
No, we're being safe until December.
Exactly.
Trying to be.
Exactly. Everybody's grounded.
So the first question I have is from Golden Buff, and he's got one specifically for you, Maddie. Winning can mean many things. What does winning mean to you when you think of the overall Grandaddy experience for yourself and for your team?
Our group going out there, having a ton of fun, and just enjoying the trip. Like I love winning. I play golf competitively as much as I can, and I will try to win, but it's about 13 of us going out there with JB and the zoo crew, just having a good time, making sure this thing comes back for 2022. That's the biggest win for me.
I think that is, like you just said, that's the biggest win, and that's the biggest goal of ours, is to make sure that it comes back.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's been your and Clayton's outlook since the very beginning, I think will really help the team once we're down there and take it in, because I want to win the belt. I'm sure everybody else wants to win the belt, but it's about a lot more than that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's why I love this guy, because he's been that way from the beginning. And one thing you guys will notice about Matt, he's so even keel. Like, he never gets too high or too low. He's like the balancing point. We have some crazy people on our team that that tend to tip, in either direction, and Matt just keeps everybody balanced. So I love that about him, is that he's always keeping the main thing, and the focus has always been fun for everyone, ever since he launched that, and we try and keep it at the forefront, but it's because of him pushing that vision from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love being part of this team. So I've seen that from day one. This question is also from Golden Buff, and it can be, anybody can answer it. So Matt, I might skip you on this one, get Clayton and David an answer. For your passion, your experience, and your goals with golf, who do you think? Who's the person that you essentially credit for fostering your love of the game? Let's go with David.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I had one of the little plastic Fisher Price sets, I think. But I was swinging it backwards back then. So
You going lefty?
yeah,
Oh.
I'm lefty in like all sports except for golf and tennis. So so my grandfather was I guess I don't know when he started playing golf, but he converted me to a righty because he said courses were built for righties. He did the same thing with my uncle, who's a PGA pro, living down in North Carolina now.
Yes.
So so he probably laid the foundation there. He had 9 hole-in-ones in his life, so that's 9 more than I have.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, I remember my only golf trophy up until this year when I entered a random tournament was like a father-son tournament with him from like 1998. So I'd say he laid the foundation, and then my parents tried to get me to play a whole lot, and I really didn't like it growing up because it's hard. So wish I had played more, but I have the opportunity now to play a lot with my parents, which I really appreciate.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was my grandpa who got me into it too, so I totally understand that. Clayton, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, it's easy answer for me. It was my father-in-law. He had a heart attack, and he's always been super athletic. I mean, this guy, if he had grown up in a different era, he could have played professional sports in baseball and football, maybe even basketball. He was a little short, but just a tremendous athlete all throughout his life. And really a lot of his kids, some of his kids and grandkids hold records at their schools. But he'd had a heart attack and was just trying to recover, and still needed something that give him like a competitive edge. And so he just grabbed some clubs and wanted to go start playing. And I just went out there to, to try and support him. And we were bashing balls at a driving range with a Frankenstein bag that we shared, and kind of got hooked on it and took off from there.
Awesome. Matt, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, it's my mom and dad. We've been a golfing family since I've been a little guy. My mom and dad were both really good golfers. A littler guy, is that right, Clayton?
So sweet.
I think my mom and dad have like 9 club championships between them for like the gross division.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I'm still just still don't have any, but hopefully I'll change that this year.
Have you beat your dad?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can count that as one.
Yeah.
No,
I'm heading down this weekend to play with my dad and the member guests, and it's my favorite weekend of the year because it's going home, playing with him, playing in front of friends and family. I get to play in a horse race. Hopefully, that you have to be in the top 5 members or guests to play in that. So, but it's a family affair for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it sounds like you play a lot, Matt. So that kind of leads into my next question. Clayton, you'll take this one off since you're a non-playing participant in this one. Has the selection for this is for Matt and David. Hold on, I just got to pop up. There we go. Has the selection for the Grandaddy greatly increased how much you practice versus how much you play? And this is from Fufflemaster.
Go ahead, David. You can go there first on this one.
Yeah, it's a big yes for me. I played more golf last year than I had in the last 5 years combined. So, and I practiced for the first time in a very long time. So, yeah, it had a big impact on me. And my wife's doing her medical residency, so she's working 80+ hour weeks. So it's really given me productive energy to focus on.
Yeah, you're working in that SkyTrack garage, aren't you?
He's a grinder.
I need to get some stickers a la the tech studio for a few dents that may have been put in drywall and various other things.
What about you, Cap?
I've played quite a bit this year. My practice schedule hasn't really increased at all. Probably has gone down a little bit just with life, but I've trying to get out at least 9 holes two times a week. Taking out my girls and my wife. My wife just joined the league for the first time ever this year. So that's great. We get to go spend some time on the course and but just kind of playing more this year instead of practicing.
Yeah, I can, with where you live, I bet that has a bit to do with it, because over here in Montana, like, we only have very limited amount of time to play, so I don't want to practice at all.
Right. Yeah, it's I during the winter I actually practice quite a bit at PJ Superstore. I joined their players club and get kind of unlimited time in their bay if you want to. So I'll pick that up in October when everything starts cooling down over here, and keep the body loose and ready for December. So
Gotcha. So he had another question, and I guess it might be for you and Matt again, because I know Clayton's rehauled his entire bag. Have your equipment thoughts and purchases changed knowing that the Granddaddy's coming up?
definitely.
Like, even this year, like last year, knowing that, because when was it actually canceled?
March.
So you knew,
or April.
You knew pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shortly after
Yep.
COVID kind of kept raging beyond the first 3 weeks that we thought it was going to last.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to make a decision.
So have your guys' equipment purchases changed knowing that you're gonna get a brand new bag of 14 clubs?
I would say so. I've probably held off getting new wedges. I might change that here just because I'm trying to do something a little different with the bottom of my bag. Maybe get the new Jaws or CB, Mac Daddy CB here shortly. And
Those new Jaws leaks are pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. The driver I bought last year, I got the Maverick Sub-Zero last year and a 3-wood last year. So a little bit, probably saved me a little bit of money, I would think so. But no, it's exciting knowing what's on the horizon.
So I know for a fact it saved you money, David, because you refused to get new irons.
Well, I pretty much joining THP and being selected for the Grandaddy kind of happened concurrently. And the newest club in my bag was like 7 years old. So I'm not sure if it was joining THP or the Grandaddy, but I think I got a new driver in September. I got the Maverick Max, went through club champion fitting for Christmas and got new wedges, and then added a Maverick 3-wood in February this year. But I'd be lying if I didn't get the warehouse sale email yesterday and go on and look at some Apex 19 irons. So
I don't know of any site that's more enabling than THP as far as equipment is concerned. Like, it's pretty difficult to be on THP and keep your bag static. It's pretty difficult.
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and I do watch the what golf stuff did you buy today thread, which is not a good idea.
I don't know how you watch all threads simultaneously. I need to figure that hack out, because have you ever logged on and you saw David was in like 5 threads? Like, how are you doing this?
I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's all on my phone. I get tabs open. I forget they're there. Yeah.
Man, you're gonna have to watch out for carpal tunnel, man.
So I got a good one for you, Clayton, and this one comes from Parrot. You rep the G as faithfully as any participant, and it obviously means a great deal to you. How have you gone about sharing that spirit with us, your teammates?
So honestly, I mean, I'm actually, if I'm just 100% transparent, I'm a little disappointed this year that I haven't been able to do as much as I wanted to. I think coming into this, Matt will tell you I had all kind of ideas and things that I wanted to throw at this year, or really at last year. as things changed with COVID, a lot of my job responsibilities grew, and some other things were going on. So I haven't been able to be as engaged on the forum as I wanted to be. But just with this team, I really did my best to try and make sure the team went through the threads so they could see the experience that other people were having. It's one thing to hear it from a single person. When you've got, this has been going on since 2013, and you've got all these years of people that are testifying about how amazing the experience is from their vantage point, it's really hard for you to just think it's just a trip. And so I wanted to really make sure the team got that, and also understood that the biggest part of this event, outside of what Callaway presents, is the team aspect of what we build. And so if you can, as a captain, can help the team to gel in a way where they become brothers, by the time that you actually get to California at the end of the year, you've already built something special. And so now you're going on an amazing trip with some of your best friends, right? And that changes every level of enjoyment throughout the trip. So for me, that was the biggest thing, is trying to make sure that we all gelled, but also understand the value of this event, what it is, that it's more than equipment, it's more than free stuff. It's a company that really is trying to give amateurs the opportunity to experience life as a pro for a few days, and even beyond that, just an experience that's just beyond your wildest dreams. So to me, the Grandaddy is far more than anybody can articulate, and so it takes time to try and help that sink in with the team. So I've tried to be persistent in doing that, but at the end of the day, it's just, I think holding up the G and letting people continue to experience little pieces of it. It kind of becomes a part of you.
So we're running a little out of time on the Zoom part of this, and we're going to restart the meeting here shortly. But I do want to add on to that on the most recent off course, Newbarth said that you've had one of the best attitudes he's ever seen at the event, and he's really excited to have you back. So how'd that feel, hearing that from him?
Man, it actually felt great. So it's funny. He was talking about Jay Sizzle. When I texted Jay Sizzle, I was like, "That was a pretty huge compliment you just got from Newbarth." And so we were chatting back and forth. And I'm still listening to the podcast. When he got to that part, I was like, "Man, that's pretty cool." But again, I got to connect with Jeff a lot. Jeff is somebody that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. For him to be able to simultaneously do all that he was doing at Callaway, really from the engagement standpoint, and really keeping things alive and flowing and fresh, and to be able to do that and then be kind of one of the creators behind the match and produce that and all of that. He's just an incredibly sharp and articulate guy, but he's very quick-witted, fun to be around. So to hear that from him was pretty awesome. And it just shows that when you become a part of this event, you actually do build relationships. It's not like you leave and people forget who you are. It's more than that. So that's pretty awesome.
I think that's one of the coolest parts that I've seen so far, is like the Callaway guys mention THPers all the time that have gone to this. So it definitely means something to them. Like Jeff said on the podcast, that people are honored to be picked for that just from Callaway side. Yeah. So I think that shows how important on both sides this event can be.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Callaway podcast that they did, they would mention multiple THPers just from that. So they're leaving lasting memories, which is positive.
Absolutely.